Greetings, comic fans. Welcome from the Dude Cave. I'm Jason. It is the 26th of November 2016 at time of recording, and you are watching Comic Haul Weekly, my weekly video where I share with you the new comics I've bought this week. First things first, I'm going to have a pull list update, and I dropped 4 books this week, but I added 2, which is better maths than usual. Usually I add more than I drop, but this week I actually got it the right way around. I decided to drop Batman. Great writer in Tom King, great character, very versatile character, the type of stories you can tell with that character. But the book just wasn't working for me. Nightwing just wasn't what I wanted from it, so I've dropped that. It wasn't that it was a bad book, it was just, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So, and also, it's been twice a month. It kind of like, I like Dick Grayson, but not twice a month. Like, and I'm reading his adventures in Titans anyway, so it isn't like I'm not going to get my Dick Grayson fix. I then dropped Shade, the Changing Girl, which um, there were aspects of the story that I was really enjoying, but just the whole high school drama thing, that's not the kind of story I want right now. Um, and finally, the last book that I dropped was Midnighter and Apollo, which I loved the ongoing Midnighter series, but the mini just hadn't really done it for me so far. And I can't put my finger on why, but I haven't enjoyed the first 2 issues as much as I enjoyed the original series. So those are the books I dropped. I've added to my pull list. I've added Superwoman, which I've read the first 2 issues. I've got 3 and 4 to read, but I absolutely loved the issues 1 and 2, which I bought and then I reread them because I'd originally decided I wasn't going to pick it up regularly. But then I reread them and I was like, wow, these were really good. I really enjoyed this. So I've added that one to my list as well. And the other book that I've added is Skyborn from Boom Studios, which is a 5-part miniseries. Well, issue 2 at the moment. It's about the children of Lazarus. Now, Lazarus is a character in the Bible who Jesus rose from the dead. And in this book, it's about his children who are immortal. And the first issue was they had a very big Game of Thrones kind of moment in the first issue. And then so we meet the sister. And then the second issue, we meet the brother of the children that are from Lazarus. And it's been really good so far. First issue just had this fantastic Game of Thrones moment at the end. I say Game of Thrones because it's like the first season of Game of Thrones, where you think Sean Bean's character, Eddard Stark, is going to be the hero of the series, and then he ends up getting killed in the penultimate episode of season 1. So it's a ballsy move, and they do a similar move in Skyborn at the end of the first issue. So those are the books I've added. Now on to the books I got this week, and I got 18 books this week. Should have been 19, but my comic shop hadn't had Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme in, which I think was out this week. So that should be in next week. I've divided this into 3 piles. First pile are the books that I'm behind on, so I probably won't get to read this week. Second lot of books are books that I will be reading most probably when I finish this video. And the final books are the books that I've read. So let's dive into this pile of books. So first up we have Doctor Who, Ninth Doctor Adventures, issue number 7. I got the photo cover, so I was pleased with that. Now it is another cover, a photo cover. It's David Tennant this time, as we have the 10th Doctor Adventures Year 2, issue number 16. So yeah, I'm behind on both of these, so I can't really give much input into either of them. We then have Superman Action Comics issue number 968. Sorry, I love that high number. From the cover there, it looks like Lex Luthor could be in a bit of trouble. So, but like I say, I'm behind on that. Next up, we got Batman Detective Comics issue 945, which I've really enjoyed this. The whole Monster Men stories made me behind with these books because I was up to date with this one because it was my favourite Batman book. Trinity's probably pushing it now, so like they might be neck and neck, but I gotta catch up on this because I'm really loving it. So I will be endeavouring to work my way through Monster Men, and then I can get onto that. Another book I really want to get up to date on it is The Flash, issue number 11. This is so, and I'm like way behind. I think I'm on like issue 4 or 5, so I've got a lot of reading to do. Another book I really want to get caught up with is Wonder Woman, issue number 11 this time. Liam Sharp, I'm loving his artwork. He's an artist that I hadn't heard of, um, but who I really, really have enjoyed. I don't want to flick through to it too much. 'Cause I wanted to show you some Liam Sharp art, but I'm like, I haven't read this yet, so I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, again, this one I'm behind on, but I'm really loving what Greg Rucka's done with Wonder Woman so far. But then we've got Star Wars Han Solo. I think this is the final issue, this is issue 5. I think that's the final issue of that series. And then we have Star Wars issue number 25. And because it was issue 25, it's a 4.99 book, so I'll be very interested. Flicking through it though, I'm a bit pissed off already because we've got like the main story, we've got the main story there, and then in the back we've got this quite long story with the droids, which that's one of my real bugbears. It's a bigger, more bugbear to kind of pick up an issue for 4.99 when there's okay, it's issue 25, but why, you know, not every book has a special issue for issue 25. Um, and this book already is one of their top sellers. So I'm like, why are you gonna make why are you gonna do that? You know, well, I know why they're gonna do it, but I think it's a dick move when they're in a particular reason, and it's even a bigger dick move when you make an extra big issue, but it doesn't get the whole story. This has got like an extra story in it, and if you're gonna charge 4.99, at least make the whole one big long story and make the most of those extra pages rather than just stick something at the end, no matter how good or bad it is. Anyway, that's just me. I get myself back to that. I ain't gonna complain about the price because I bought it, and if I had a problem with the price, I shouldn't have bought it. But it's just the fact that like they made a 4.99 comic, give you extra pages, and then they stick an extra story in the back. No, I want the main story elongated. Make the use of the extra pages to tell a longer story. So that's my thing. Anyway, enough of me moaning. Back onto these books. We've got Bloodshot USA issue number 2. I've got to finish reading Bloodshot Reborn, then I can jump into this series. But I've been loving what Lemire's doing lately, so I don't think that book's going to be any different. We then have Ninjak issue 21. Again, I'm behind on this. It continues the Fist of the Steel story. So I'm looking forward to getting caught up on all these books, really. So now these are the books now to read. We have Mighty Thor issue 13, which is the next book I'm going to read. I'm looking forward to that because I'm really enjoying Thor. Anything Jason Aaron does with Thor tends to be good. We then have Teen Titans issue number 2. I really enjoyed the first 2 issues because we had the Rebirth issue, then we had issue 1, and I really enjoyed that, seeing how Damian brought this team together and how that now they're going to help him because Ra's al Ghul is out to get Damien, and so that he's brought this team together. I like the team, I like the mix, and also I really liked how they wrote Damien, like that first issue. You kind of like it can be a bit of a jerk sometimes, a bit of an arrogant jerk, but I really have been I like when they show like the only way he can get friends are to kidnap a bunch of people, which is kind of sad. And you can't. Maybe I'm a softie in my old age, but I can't help being sorry for the dude, even if he's a jerk sometimes. But yeah, enjoyed the first 2 issues of that, so looking forward to getting into that. And then we have all new X-Men Annual number 1. So I've not got a clue what that's about, so that should be interesting. And finally, for the books to read, we have Deadpool Too Soon, issue number 2. Which this was one of those books I really enjoyed the first issue, as they brought together an unusual cast of characters, and it worked surprisingly well. Oh, excuse me. So now these are the books that I've read. We have Titans, issue number 5, which I absolutely loved. Just a really, really good issue. Basically, Wally has to rescue his friends, but he's going to have to run as fast as he can to save them all. And there's the risk that he might kind of go so fast he moves out of the existence. And this is Kadabra's trick, because before when this happened, Wally had Linda's love to hanker him to this world to bring him back, and it was her love that brought him back. This time she doesn't even know him, this version of Linda, so he's like, uh, what's going to bring him back? So it's a really good issue that builds and builds and builds nicely, And is he going to be able to pull it off, or is it going to go Pete Tong? So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a really good issue, and yeah, I'm enjoying Titans overall. We then have Hellboy in the BPRD 1954. The Unreasoning Beast. This is a one and done story. So if you've never read a Hellboy before, this is a very good issue to pick up. You don't need to know anything about it. They have an inside cover that gives you the brief information you need to know, and then it's straight into the story. I really enjoyed this. It's kind of a mystery. I kind of was piecing the pieces together as you go along, and I just really enjoyed it. It was a nice one and done story, very enjoyable. I enjoyed it. It isn't the most awesome story ever, and that's not to put it down, but it was a very enjoyable issue. And like I say, if you've never read Hellboy, those books, whether it's like a one and done story, is a great place because you've got no commitment. You don't have to buy another issue of Hellboy. It's a one and done story. It gets you into it really well. So yeah, well worth a pick up there. We then have Civil War 2, issue number 7. Originally, this was going to be the final issue, but they've expanded it by one issue. Um, and things are kind of building nicely in this book, as I really like all the way through the issue because Ulysses has had this vision that the new Spider-Man, Miles Morales, will kill Captain America, Steve Rogers, and he'll do it on in Washington D.C. I'm not sure what the building's called, but it's one of the the I think it's the building that has Abraham Lincoln inside, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong. American geography and Washington are not my strong point. But anyway, so Captain Marvel wants to take Spider-Man into custody so that this can't happen. Spider-Man's like, no, you know, I don't want to go with you. But she's like, yes, you need to come with me. So now Spider-Man's gone into hiding, and Captain Marvel, and Iron Man are on opposite sides of this. And then Miles turns up in Washington on the steps to kind of prove that my destiny isn't going to come true. And then Steve Rogers shows up. Well, first a load of police show up, and Shield get them to stand down. Ulysses has another vision that of the future with Old Man Logan, and it's kind of he doesn't get the whole story from Logan, but he gets enough that somebody pushes Iron Man too far, and that what creates this hellish future. So he's kind of now trying to warn Captain Marvel not to engage Iron Man, not to push him too far. And of course, what happens at the end of the issue, we've got Captain America and we've got Miles Morales. Captain Marvel turns up. She wants to take Miles into custody. Miles doesn't want to go, and then Iron Man turns up, puts a shield around Miles, and he and Captain Marvel get into it. So I like the issue. I like how it builds up to that kind of thing at the end, all the way through the issue. It really ramps up the tension. So I thought this was really good, as it's kind of boiling down the issue, and it's kind of come down from this big cast of characters. Now we've just got these 4 characters. We've got Captain America, we've got Spider-Man, we've got Iron Man, and we've got Captain Marvel. So I like how they've kind of made it a bit more intimate now, and this big issue is just come down to the core people, and I'm definitely intrigued to see where we go. I think there's more going on here with Ulysses, so that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work itself out, as the Inhumans are starting to get a bit worried about him. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was good, and I'm definitely intrigued to see how this is going to end up. We then finally this week, the last book that I've read, it is Death of X, issue number 4. Going into this, we knew we had this gap in the Marvel comics, and that in this gap, Cyclops was killed and by the Inhumans, and that he'd done something really bad. So this issue, we kind of get everything kind of revealed, and I absolutely enjoyed this. At the start, it feels like a very straightforward story. It's not that it's bad. It's just there's no surprises. It's very and it's really surprising how straightforward it is. So we have this straightforward story. We have Cyclops. His whole thing is he wants to destroy the Terrigen clouds, and he destroys this one. And of course, the Inhumans aren't happy about this, and it ends up with Cyclops taking on Black Bolt and Medusa and him getting killed. And so like you're like, okay. But then there's a really great twist at the end that I really loved. It's kind of that like Sixth Sense. If anybody's seen the movie Sixth Sense, it's like a moment like in that film at the end when you learn the truth about Bruce Willis's character. It's kind of that kind of truth. Or another film that does something like this, and that's probably more appropriate, is Fight Club. At the end, when he kind of realizes that Brad Pitt's character is not what he thought he was. So I really, and so like we have a moment like that where he re goes over the scenes in the book from a different perspective, and I just really love that. And um, it made the way the book ended made the journey getting there feel worthwhile because you had a really good destination in mind. I'm definitely intrigued now to see what happens next with the whole Inhumans versus X Men, and I might actually pick that up now because I'm definitely intrigued. This book for me was a big success. I enjoyed it, and yeah, it was sad to see Cyclops go, but c'est la vie. Nothing I can do about it. It's the way we are right now. Um, and they seem to be wanting at the moment, Marvel. They're changing all the characters, trying to make them into younger characters. As well as we've got two Captain Americas. We've got somebody taking over as Iron Man, a young girl's taking over being Iron Man. We've got a young Miss Marvel now. We've got a young Hulk. We've got a younger Thor. You know, all these characters, they're kind of changing them. And I don't know if that's a conscious thing from Marvel, and that maybe they want to push these rather than the classic versions of the characters like Peter Parker and Tony Stark and Steve Rogers and Thor Odinson, and they kind of want to replace them with younger versions. Even with the X Men, we've got the young version of the X Men, and so like yeah, they've killed Cyclops, but there's still a Cyclops on Earth with the one from the past in the present. So we'll have to see how things go. It might just be a phase at the moment, and everything's going to revert back. We will see. But yeah, so those are my books for this week. I think I've got a smaller pile of next week. I think it's like 14, 15 books next week, so that should be good things. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I need to say. I hope you've all had a fantastic comic book filled week. Without further ado, I'm going to close this video down by saying a big thank you to everybody who's watched this video. I really appreciate all the views and all the likes. So I'm going to close this bad boy down by saying I've been Jason. It is the 26th of November 2016, and you've been watching Comic Haul Weekly. Keep reading, and bye for now.